Welcome to the Sharon Cliffe podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by the Passion Project. The Passion Project is a project that I'm really passionate about. Ting ting. It is launching 1st of November 2021. If you've been wondering what your passions are, how to uncover your passion, how to live a life that you love, that's energized, where you're in touch with your feelings and it radiates through everyone around you. This is the essence of the Passion Project. And you probably would have heard of the Passion Test by Janet Bray Attwood and Chris Attwood. The Passion Project encompasses that test within. So if you want to take a test that's been done by over 1 million people worldwide, make sure you check out the Passion Project. It will be launching, as I said, Monday, the 1st of November, 2021. There will be an early bird offer available from the 29th of October through until Monday the 1st. So make sure you check that out if you're listening to this podcast before November 1. So let's get into today's episode. So I've found that in the research that I've done is that 80% of people aren't happy with their life. They're not happy with what they do, their job, their career, with their business. They might have been happy to start with, but most people aren't, and particularly over the last 18 months, people have really been, stepping back and going, well, do I really like what I'm doing? Do I love what I'm doing? Am I passionate about what I'm doing? Is this really for me? Is this what I want to do? Is this where I want to spend most of my time? Is this where I want to spend, most of my waking hours doing what I'm doing? And I used to be one of those. I've had my own business for years and years. I've had a number of different businesses. I, started doing consulting in 2015, worked with clients I love, worked on my own terms, did the hours I want, worked with who I wanted, often did say yes to people that I probably shouldn't have, that I wasn't aligned with, or that, didn't have the same kind of values. And I just did it because I was building a business. And, 5 years in, I got to a point where I was burnt out and I wasn't loving what I was doing. And I was waking up on a Monday going, oh my gosh, I've got to start another week. And it was this groundhog day where every day I'd just be exhausted. I had no energy. And I was just looking for, happiness again and energy and just that good feeling and all the great things about owning your own business. And I had started to dabble in a bit of coaching, and I was doing some work with a client, and they were like, I need someone to come on board and help me with running this part of my business through the workshops. And I was like, okay. And I sort of was looking at that, and I came across this passion test, and I was like, what is this? Anyway, I went through and did a quick little online quiz, which I have got available. Links are in the show notes. I've developed my own passion quiz, and I did this quiz, and I was like, wow. So here I was, owning my own business, being able to work from anywhere, being able to be flexible around my kids, being able to travel and work from anywhere, but I just wasn't passionate. I wasn't feeling the feels. And I did this test, and I was like, okay, so you sort of know what you want. You sort of know what's important to you. You sort of know what you're passionate about, because I was really passionate about coaching. So the consulting was like, yeah, you know what, that's not what I want in my life. And I want more of the coaching to show up. And I was like, wow, okay. So I went through and did the actual passion test with a passion test facilitator. And oh my God, my life changed. And I was like, you know what? I now have to do this. This has to be part of my coaching, part of what I offer. And I went and did the certification and became a passion test facilitator. And I'd been doing, the passion test sort of on and off, facilitating sessions over that last sort of 18 months that I've been certified. And then I just went, I need to add more into this and like bring the passion test in and create a full program and add in all the other stuff that I've learned over the last 20 something years. So the Passion Project has been developed over the last few months, and I'm just so excited. But before I give you the details on the passion project, I want to sort of bring you back in. So some of the things that I went through as part of this, you know, passion process, if you like, is looking at feelings. And, you know, something, you know, we feel this and we feel that, but we don't go deeper with our feelings as to how we're really feeling, like really taking that deep, like, oh yeah, you know, oh, we're feeling good. Good, take that to the next level. If we're feeling sad, take it down to those next levels. Go deeper. And I don't think that we really take the time, because, you know, we're so busy on our to-do lists and focusing and all that, that we don't actually sit down and go, you know what, how am I actually feeling? Like, it's like, yeah, we feel good. When someone asks you, you go, yeah, I feel good. But do you actually sit there and go, how am I actually feeling? How am I feeling about work? How am I feeling about my family? How am I feeling about my health? You know, we don't really notice how we're actually feeling. We don't sit there and think about it. We notice when we're sad, but we don't really notice what our true feelings are. And that's what I, you know, guide you through in part of this process. The other thing that I found is, in this last 18 months, since I've been going through and doing so much work around, you know, passion and mindset and flow and abundance and all these amazing things that I'm bringing together in, you know, I'm doing 6 different programs over the next sort of 6 months, bringing all these modalities together. And energy, and I know that, you know, when I switch into that coaching mode, everyone says to me, look, I'm drawn to your energy. I can just see you come alive and you're passionate. And when I'm in that coaching space, I can just see the energy. And what I've done now is I've brought that through to every aspect of my life over the last couple of months. I've just brought energy in every single thing that I'm doing now. Like, I am buzzing. And we don't really look at energy so much. Like, I've got a daily and a weekly planner that I've had out there for over a year now, which is free on my website, sharoncliffe.com.au. And on that, part of that up the top says, you know, how are you feeling today? What's your energy like? Because we don't really sit there and go, you know, in the morning you might go, oh, I'm really tired. But you don't go, okay, so what's my energy like? And when you go and do something you love, you don't then go, oh, what's my energy like now? Because if you're doing something that you don't like and that you don't love, and that you don't really want to do, or that isn't, you know, your genius zone, then you're going to be out of flow and you're not going to be energized by that. You're going to be getting home the other day and you're going to be depleted. You're going to be feeling meh. Whereas if you're doing something that you absolutely love, like me, I absolutely love what I'm doing. I'm coming home and I'm energized and the day goes really quick and I can't wait. You know, Monday morning, I can't wait to get up and get to my laptop and start working. You know, it's really creating the space to be able to to gather your feelings, look at your feelings and look at your energy. And that is also part of the process with the passion project. And last year, probably about this time last year, actually, it was the weekend just gone last year, I went to, I'd been to I was going to a conference and they just started talking about, you know, money blocks and helping to really drill down and see where you've got blockages, and starting to really delve deep into, you know, what you were thinking, mindset, etc. I thought, you know, this would be really great because I feel like I've still got this block. Anyway, and I just kept thinking, I just need to take myself and my business to the next level. I need to up level. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is great. I'm going to find the answer because it's out there. And that's the thing, you know, so many people, we look externally for what's around us to try and find what our passion is. And, you know, you ask yourself the wrong questions, because I was asking, you know, what tool do I need? What book do I need to read? What download do I need to download? What course do I need to take? What, you know, and they're going through all these questions and I'm like, hang on a minute. And I'm sitting there at the end of the first day and I've gone, oh my God, what I was looking for was inside me the whole time. And I was looking externally. It's the same with the passion project. Everything that you need, whilst you're going to be guided through through all these processes and, you know, giving you the tools and strategies for life, it's getting you to look in the right places. It's getting you to ask yourself the right questions so that you know what's most important to you in every aspect of your life. So in your relationships, in career, in finance, in health, spiritually, your environment, what's around you, education, how you want to learn. And by knowing how the passion and feelings and energy comes in and looking at what's most important to you, you can then get crystal clear on what's important to you. And then once you know that, you can then go, okay, well, let's put our attention on those things that I want, the things that I want to show up in my life. And if you're setting the intention that that's what I want to show up, I want that, but I don't want that, and I am now going to do everything to align with that. So I'm creating the path of least resistance to the life that I want to live, my passionate life. And when we're putting our attention to it, and where there's intention and there's no tension, so you know, through the program, we talk a lot about, you know, intention, attention, no tension, and a lot around contracting and expansion. And when you bring all that together, it's honestly like the transformation that you have is amazing, because you think this is all just so basic, so easy, but you just need someone to guide you there. And the other thing too is, you know, like I talk about asking the right questions, and we have conversations, you know, with people, but the conversations we have ourselves are the biggest impact on how we show up, what we say and what we do. You know, we have over 60,000 negative thoughts a day. And if we're putting our attention into the negative thoughts, well, then how can we live a passionate, energized life, feeling loved and feeling happy, if we're focusing on negative thoughts, if we're having negative conversations with ourselves? So it's all about, you know, reframing and turning those negative thoughts around. And if we're focusing on like, I want to get out of debt, well, then turn that around and say, you know, I want to be able to, you know, buy and have whatever I desire. So it's just really reframing your thinking as well. You know, and if you're always thinking, well, I have no money, I'm poor, well, then you're never going to have any money. So, you know, and if you're thinking, oh, you know, well, I'm homeless and I don't want to be homeless, well, that's not what you want to say. You want to say, I want to live in a beautiful house, because the beautiful house is what you want to put your attention to, not the fact that you're homeless. So there's just so many amazing parts to the process where we start to really hone in on you, the conversations that you're having with yourself, where you're putting your attention, you know, your mindset, feelings and energy. It all comes together. It's just amazing. Like, it just lights you up. It's the feeling that you get when you just click and you start to align, and then you start to notice, you know, it's like, you know, you go and buy an Audi and you drive out of the showroom and you start to notice how many Audis are out on the street. Or, you know, you buy a blue shirt and then you start to notice how many other people are wearing blue shirts. It's about, you know, where you put your attention and where you focus. So I really am so passionate about all of these things, but bringing them all together and being able to guide you through that process. So what I want to ask you is that if you could be anything, you could do anything, have whatever you wanted, doing what you love, what would you do? If money wasn't an issue, time wasn't an issue, and you could do anything in the world, would you be doing what you're doing now? Because that's the type of questions that we ask. That's how deep we go, and that's how big we dream. That's how big we go with looking at your passions. It's like, okay, there's no tension. So it's all the time, all the money, being able to do anything you want to do. Is that what you're doing now? And if you've answered no to this, then you need to reach out, because we need to change that. What else? The other thing too is, you know, you can talk about, you know, how you feel and how you're energized and what you want to show up in your life and what you set your intention, attention, all that too. But if you don't have a plan, if you don't actually start to consciously put things in place and take action to actually make this stuff happen, if you don't have, you know, a vision of what your life's going to look like and you're not clear on what you want to show up, then nothing's going to change. It's not going to show up. It's still going to be a dream. And so that's the thing. The part of this passion project is to, create a visual image of what you want through, vision boards, etc. So that you're constantly reminded of what your passions are and how to bring it into your life. But you're also going to have an actual plan so that you can keep taking actions to bring those things into your life and get more and do more of what you love. If you aren't living a passionate life, the good news is there's still time. You're never too old, never too young, never too, not experienced enough. Colonel Sanders was in his 60s when he started KFC. You don't think that you're too old to be able to change and live a passionate life. If you think, all these things have resonated with you and you think, you know what, I really want to find what I'm passionate about. I want to do what I love. I want to wake up every morning energized and be pumped about the day. And I want to make sure that every single thing that I want to show up in my life is going to show up. Then you need to reach out. You need to start the passion project. And I spoke about expansion and contraction, and expansion feels good. And you're going to feel uncomfortable when you're going through this process, and you're going to contract. Because if you stay where you are and you stay comfortable, then there's going to be no change. When you get uncomfortable, that's when the magic happens. That's when the change happens. That's when the transformation happens. Through the passion project, there is also the 7 keys to living an aligned life. So, there's so many amazing tools and resources within the passion project. I would love you to come on board and join the project. It is only 5 modules. The videos are between 5 and 15 minutes. So you're not sitting there for hours and hours watching lots of videos, and there is 1 workbook to download. So you're not having to download everything in every module. There is a couple of bonuses at the end that you can download as well. All the different tools that I'll talk about are all included in there. You've got blank pages at the back to be able to write lots of notes. There's links to some Canva templates so you can actually do up your own vision boards. But honestly, it's changed my life. You can see how energized and passionate I am. It's everyone that I've gone through this, you can physically see the transformation in them. You can see energy, you can feel feelings, you can see and feel passion. So if you want to know more, please reach out to me. The link will be in the show notes to the YouTube and the podcast episode. But if you head to sharoncliffe.com.au and go to the shop, everything to do with the passion project will be in there. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode, and I will see you in next week's episode.